I am Conan. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, as I used to say it as a kid to help me spell it. Today we're looking at Super7 Retro Vintage Warpaint Conan without any blood and Iconic Pose Conan, even though it doesn't say that here. Quick look at the packaging. Earth. Really basic card artwork here, just those flames. I do like the font they went with on Conan, but the flames, I guess that's supposed to be a forge, and maybe the forge produced the action figure now that I take a second to think about it. But I do like the font and this font too. Really, really dope. Quick look at Conan in the package. Atlantean sword there in the back. That's a scene from when he gets out of the Atlantean cave after he got chased by the wolves. And these are the 3 variants that we've gotten so far. It says collect them all. I don't know if we'll get any more, but I can see them doing one more wave of 3 figures and giving us Thulsa Doom, Rexor, and Thorgrim. So maybe like a Riders of Doom kind of wave. But otherwise, I think that might be it. I'm not sure. But this has been dope. If it is it, let's take these guys out and let's check them out. Oh, wait, I didn't show the other one. Real quick, before we open them up, close look at Warpaint Conan in the package. And this one just doesn't have the bloody Warpaint. All right, now I mean it. Let's get him out. All right, Conan and Conan. Yo, the sculpt on this, I'm guessing it's the same sculpt and that the stripes are just obscuring all the flow because of the way the light is reflected and broken up by the Warpaint. Goes to show you Warpaint works. This guy here, man, these muscles, that looks tough. That looks tough. The wide, massive, smooth chest, just like one solid mass of muscle before he flexes. So cool, bro. I'm digging this. These retro style figures, these vintage figures, might not be for everybody. And I don't really collect a lot of them, but this is Conan and I had to have it, bro. I've waited like 40 years to have Conan action figures. And now I want every single one. Quick look at the other side. I don't know if that's a dagger, if that's intended to be a dagger, or if that's just the way they had belts back in the days. Is this gonna come off and become a whip? All right. Oh, look, and the Wheel of Pain. Oh, look, the bright, shiny metal thing. Quick look at the hair. And it's pretty soft there, man. That's surprising considering that it's such a stubby head. But you got some nice soft hair. Pretty good. All right. The Atlantean sword. Super metallic paint. And I don't even think I've seen an Ultimates Atlantean sword with this much metallic paint. I could be wrong, but offhand, I don't think so. It looks dope. And it is too stout for a Ultimates figure if you're thinking about it. Looks great, but when you try it with an Ultimates, it doesn't look so great. But it looks perfectly scaled for this Conan. Like right there, that pose when he comes into the mountain scene. Iconic pose. It's the best you're gonna get for his iconic pose. But these are retro vintage. And I love it, bro. I think it looks so tough. Next up, we've got the Warpaint Conan, and we'll do a quick comparison. One has blood, and the other one doesn't. This one was arriving, and this one was leaving. Give you a quick look at that. This band is elastic. Stretchy, stretchy. In case you want to see the articulation in there, it's got a hinge with swivel. Loosen those guys up right there, and he too comes with the Atlantean sword. And I will say, the plastic on these figures, at least on these hands, is much easier, even though it's giving me a hard time, right? Much easier to get the swords in than Ultimates. Or deluxe, right? I can't just say ultimates anymore. The new deluxe figures from Super7 coming in at 35 bucks. I was like, whoa! For today's theme comparison, we're gonna keep it really, really brief. I'm just gonna bring out He-Man and stand them next to our Conan figure. So I've got Origins He-Man and Origins cartoon animation He-Man. Just for a little comparison because of how these guys are connected through space and time. And a quick little story before we wrap up today. When I was a kid, I never actually had He-Man, but I did have a figure that looked just like He-Man and had brown hair. Now you're thinking to yourself, dude, that was Wonder Bread He-Man. Well, yeah, but back then I didn't know that. Back then as a kid, I had to be about, I want to say I was like 8 years old or something like that. And I didn't understand why He-Man had brown hair. Because back then in the 80s, I don't even know where people would find out things like that. And I know that was like a mail-in thing, but I didn't know about that mail-in process. So I just had the brown hair He-Man. And for me as a little kid, that was Conan. That was my Conan as a little kid, you know? But I knew he was a He-Man Masters of the Universe figure. But then I never saw him in the cartoon. But to me as a kid, that Wonder Bread He-Man was my Conan. You know, and I remembered that when I took this guy out of the box, when I got the delivery, and I looked at him, I was like, damn, he looks like the figure I had. I was like, oh shit, I had Wonder Bread He-Man as a kid. And I didn't even know it was Wonder Bread He-Man until I came back to collecting during the lockdowns, and I started watching Pixel Dan videos. So hell yes, it was fun checking these figures out, and just that little flashback when I took Conan out of the box was really, really fun today too. As always, everybody, thank you so much for coming out and sharing in the experience of collecting toys as an adult. Until next time, everybody, thank goodness, it's playtime.